Another thing that we weave into all of our programs and experiences that we create is the concept of responsibility, accountability, and respect. And I guess people would say that that is what it is to be a professional, is to be able to have those three things. What we mean by that is very specific. So for us, responsibility is about taking 100% responsibility for absolutely everything that we're creating on a day-to-day basis. So if somebody was to come up to me and shout at me, or if I was to miss the bus, or if I was to send something in late or an email didn't send, I wouldn't blame anybody or anything for those things. I would ask myself the question, why have I created that? What can I learn from it? What is it enabling me to do? And what is it preventing me from doing? And why did I need those in my ecosystem? So there's no part of me that gets triggered, that gets anxious, or that gets stressed. I understand that I am creating absolutely everything in my ecosystem to learn from. And the learn from is the accountability bit. So responsibility is understanding that you're creating everything, and the accountability is understanding that you're creating it to learn from. So the moment that you start to learn from all the things that you're creating, you can change. And when you change, then you break patterns of behavior, and the people in your ecosystem change. And when they change, they free you up to change, and you change, they change. That's the way it works. And the respect part is about having the ability to communicate and share, and going back to that supportive competition, understanding that if you're respecting the people in your ecosystem, you're also understanding that by giving yourself permission to really shine and be the best version of yourself, you're also giving them permission to be the best version of themselves, which is really, really beautiful to watch. When you take 100% responsibility for everything that you're creating in your life, you move away from a blame culture. And blaming is when you decide not to learn. Blame is disempowering. Ultimately, if you're saying the organization is doing this to me, my boss is doing this to me, my colleague is doing this to me, you're sitting in a victim space, and you're saying that you're disempowered and that you can't do anything. The moment that you say to yourself, I wonder why I've created this situation with my boss, what can I learn from it? You can understand if you've got unconscious biases. So for example, you might have a boss that is constantly not giving you opportunities, and you're running a pattern or a self-limiting belief that is that because you're a female, or because you're a male, or because you're this ethnicity, or whatever it might be, you're not ever going to be promoted. So of course then you're going to create that in your reality. The moment that you take 100% responsibility is the moment you say, I want to learn from this experience and I want to change it. Companies that are full of blame aren't thriving companies because they're disempowered. If every individual in the organization is blaming somebody else, nobody is taking responsibility for what's happening, and nobody is making changes. The moment that you create a workforce full of individuals who are taking 100% responsibility and are empowered to do so, and empowered to act on that and to step courageously into their leadership action, is the moment that you have a truly thriving organization, and an organization full of leaders rather than an organization full of people who are waiting to be led. The moment that Fuse is able to move into a culture where responsibility, accountability, and respect are key words, key themes, common language between the team, is the moment that it will really, really, truly start to thrive and will take on a life of its own. Because every single empowered person in that ecosystem will step into the leadership vacuums that are being created as they're being created, and they will have the toolkit of creativity, of supportive competition, and the ability to truly make their way in the world with passion and purpose. And I just can't wait to see that happen.